We'll call to order the Wednesday, October 1st meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission. A roll call vote, please, Bethany?
Commissioner Barclay? Here. Commissioner Weinberger? Here. Commissioner Gonzalez is absent. Commissioner Harlow?
Here.
Commissioner Elder?
Here.
Commissioner Olson?
Here.
Chairman Bonin?
Here. Will you all take a look at the minutes of our August 6th meeting, please, if you have not? And let me know if you have any changes or additions to that, please.
Looks fine to me, so I'll move to approve the minutes from the August 6th meeting.
Is there a second to this?
Second.
Okay. I'd like to, Bethany, on page 7 of the minutes, at the bottom of the second paragraph, I'd like to suggest that we add some verbiage there. The paragraph refers to Bruce George explaining to us the origins of the PUD when they were trying to figure out how to legislate for the expansion. I think at the bottom of the second paragraph there should be something that says something like this. Mr. George stated that the home would have been protected if it had been left in the PUD. And then, in the next line, Commissioner Olson asked if the home was currently occupied. The question remains in this for me, Bethany, and I think it needs to go into the minutes somewhere, that it says the question remains, who decided to remove it? Now, the Plan Commission can't decide to remove it because they're advisory like we are. So in Mr. George's testimony, he said something to the effect, and it's repeated in here, that the Plan Commission wanted it removed. But in order for it to be removed, it could be recommended by the Plan Commission that it be removed. But the removal of that, in my estimation, would have to be a board action.
That would be correct.
Would you agree?
Yes. I
Yeah.
mean, that would be a board action.
Okay, all right.
It's my understanding in reviewing those files previously that it was removed as part of the application through the process. So it came in as part of the plan development with the application.
Okay.
And then by the time it got to the board for the official approval of the plan development, the house had been removed from that application request.
So it was removed in the process.
Correct. That's to my knowledge.
But the reality is, in my estimation, that it could not be removed by the Plan Commission.
Correct.
It could
It
be
would-
suggested to the board that it be removed. And I don't think that's reflected in the minutes of the meeting. Without beating a horse, I have enough institutional memory in all this. And going forward for future boards and commissions, in as much as we're going to be facing some PUDs coming before the village soon, and we haven't really done PUDs in years, and obviously when we were doing them prior, we weren't doing them correctly. So I think it would be important that these minutes reflect who's got the authority to do these kinds of things.
We're happy to add that to this paragraph.
Something to that effect. Because, again, not to beat the horse is already beaten. But if in fact if that house had remained in the PUD as originally conceived, Mr. George is saying it would have been protected and we would not be tearing it down today. but somewhere between the cup and the lip, the house is, they needed the house in the PUD to get the PUD. And then once they got the PUD, they took the house out of the PUD. So something's rotten in Denmark. And I can remember most of what's rotten, but not enough to be definitive. So, you know, I understand the house is being torn down, it's too late to go back, rehash all that. But going forward, I think it's important that we acknowledge the fact that the Plan Commission is only advisory like the Preservation Commission. And that attorneys and members of the Plan Commission, anybody else that has an interest, need not be removing things from an application if it has to be done by the board.
We can add a clarification to the
Something like
minutes. Yep.
Okay. And,
So would the motion be changed then to as corrected with the changes to page 7?
Yeah, Bethany, also, I wasn't at the meeting, but on page 9, Mike, this NIMO, N-A-I-M-O, not M-U,
Page 9, M-A,
N-A-I-M-O. That one paragraph, his name is,
so the U should be an O.
that's correct.
Sorry for the typo there. We will make that change as well.
as long as I'm grinding an axe, the third paragraph up on page 7, the bottom of the third paragraph where Ms. Timms is opining about the church's rationale. In the last sentence, a thriving church and preschool will benefit Hinsdale more than maintaining a historic home. I think that something should be added to the effect that's in the opinion of Ms. Timms.
We can make that change as well, clarify that.
New motion?
Your motion is still on the table. It's been seconded. All those in favor of accepting the minutes as amended? You want a new motion?
I'll just do a quick new one.
All right.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the August 6th, 2025 meeting as amended.
Second.
Okay.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Barclay?
Aye.
Commissioner Weinberger?
Aye.
Commissioner Harlow?
Abstain.
Commissioner Elder?
Aye.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Chairman Bonin?
Aye. Thank you. Okay, on with the show. We have 2 sign permit reviews before us. The first is case A-40-2025 for Hinsdale Prime Steak, one awning sign. Is there a representative here from Hinsdale Prime?
Good evening. How are you?
You?
Yeah, so we're proposing the change of the awning, keeping everything the same, just change the color.
Everything seems to meet standards, Bethany, on this?
Pardon?
Everything meets standards on this?
Yep, it's just a result of them expanding their current space
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
They're gonna need the request again, like they did last time from the Plan Commission for a modification to allow for one extra sign, but they're removing one awning and putting this awning in, so they'll have that expanded space.
Okay.
Meets all code requirements
So
otherwise.
we're able to vote on this?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Congratulations on the expansion.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
It's good.
Thank you. No. The town has been very welcome with us, so we appreciate that.
Okay, can we have a motion, please?
Sure, I'll move to approve case A-40-2025, sign permit review, 38 South Garfield Avenue / 42 East Hinsdale Avenue, Hinsdale Prime Steak, installation of one awning sign.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Barclay?
Aye.
Commissioner Weinberger? Aye. Commissioner Harlow?
Aye.
Commissioner Elder?
Aye.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Chairman Bonin.
Aye. Motion carried.
you.
Thank you
That's
very
fine.
much.
Thank you.
And now we have case A-46-2025 and 47, sign permit review for 50 South Washington Street, Giovanni's and Yves Delorme.
Hello.
Hello,
I'm Inga Narbutis with Yves Delorme. And
I'm Giovanni Gonzalez. I'm with Company Giovanni's.
we neighbors, the same address, 50 South Washington Street, and we have awning and want to put signs. We actually gonna be replacing, putting new awning, new material, because this one
The
is
Valence.
the gray.
Right.
Yeah.
Looks fine. Okay. Any discussion?
I don't have anything.
It says installation of 2 awning signs, but it's just one continuous one, is that correct?
2 signs, 1 awning.
Yeah.
Okay,
Two
got it.
signs, one awning, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it, thank you.
May I hear a motion, please?
I move to approve case A-46-2025, sign permit review for 50 South Washington Street, Giovanni's and Yves Delorme, installation of 2 awning signs.
Yeah, that would be case A-46 and A-47.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Barclay?
Aye.
Commissioner Weinberger?
Aye.
Commissioner Harlow?
Aye.
Commissioner Elder?
Aye.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Chairman Bonin.
Aye, carries. Thank you
Thank you.
very
Thank
much.
you, guys.
All right. Now we have a couple of public hearings. Case HPC-17-2025, application for local landmark designation for the Zook Home and Studio at Catherine Legge Memorial Park, 5891 South County Line Road. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing, please?
I'll move to open the public hearing.
Second?
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Barclay?
Aye.
Commissioner Weinberger?
Aye.
Commissioner Harlow?
Aye.
Commissioner Elder?
Aye.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Chairman Bonin.
Aye. Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on the matter, please come forward, raise your right hand and be sworn in, please.
Excuse me, do you swear or affirm any statement you're going to give before this board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Good. Would the applicant provide a brief overview for us for the project, please?
Yes. The Hinsdale Historical Society seeks local landmark designation for the R. Harold Home, Zook, and Studio, both as a heartfelt thank you to everyone who helped save it and as a celebration of the Society's 50 years of stewardship. In 1924, Zook designed and built a home at 327 Oak Street in Hinsdale, where he resided until his death in 1949. During those years, he served and chaired on Hinsdale's Architecture Committee and the first Plan Commission for 17 years, fostering the Georgian design in our municipal and commercial buildings still enjoyed today. He designed approximately 34 homes and commercial buildings within the village. Although most famous for his Cotswold style, he also created Tudor and Georgian structures. His passion is evident in his distinctive designs, his use of natural materials, and quality craftsmanship. In 2005, the Society learned a developer had purchased the home and studio. They took action, gathering archivists, preservationists, concerned community members, and generous donors to quickly devise a plan, raise funds, and thoughtfully move the home and studio to Catherine Legg Park. Special thank you to all involved, including Landmarks Illinois and the Village of Hinsdale. The ideal KLM is an ideal location to set the home and studio. It was near one of Zook's other designs, the lodge, and Zook loved nature. The park is a perfect backdrop to pay homage to the home and studio. The Zook Home and Studio clearly meets local landmark criteria. It contributes meaningfully to the village's historic aesthetic. It is associated with a significant person and with significant events in the village's planning and development. It exemplifies a distinctive architectural style and outstanding craftsmanship. It represents the work of a master architect. Let's proudly keep Zook's story alive with this designation, affirming that the Zook Home and Studio is a key part of our history. Thank you all for your service, and special thank you to Bethany for your guidance on this, and Julie for preparing a lot on the application. Questions?
If I can jump in really quick, this would be, just for the commission's purposes, this would be, if approved by the village board, our 26th landmark application. It's important to note that the lodge, also designed by R. Harold Zook, is also a landmark. And we do have the Burns Field House, which is also designed by R. Harold Zook, that is also a landmark with the village. So I believe this would be our third, and there might even be others. There's a home, and we have several Zook properties that are on our historically significant structures list. So this would be a very good addition. The hope is that because this property is not in a historic district, they're currently not able to apply for any sort of preservation type funding. So the hope is that by local landmark status would actually allow them to apply for potentially preservation funding in the future. I'll just also jump in here and talk about what the commission should be reviewing as part of this landmark application. We do have the criteria listed in section 14-3-1. We did take a look at it from a staff perspective, from the applicant's perspective, and it does appear, unless the HPC otherwise would like to discuss it, that all of the landmark criteria is met, with the exception of possibly, you could argue that C3 through 6 might be not met, but that's something that we can discuss. And then the findings that are brought forward to the village board should reflect in terms of what the commission believes that the landmark criteria, which ones are met. So that should be up for discussion. But they've done a great job. They've restarted funding efforts, and it's hopeful that we can make this a landmark and be our 26th landmark.
And so, maybe for the edification of the television audience, you might expand a little bit on the significance of a local landmark
Yep.
and how it differs from, like, the National Register home
Right.
on First Street.
Yeah, so the property that was reviewed at the last HPC meeting, which was 142 East First Street, that was, I think, our first property in Hinsdale ever added to the National Register.
Correct.
The National Register possibly can open funding sources, not necessarily for single-family homes, but it could possibly bring some preservation funding. But in reality, National Register listing provides no protections whatsoever to prevent a property from being demolished. So the hope with landmark status is that it adds an extra layer of protection, especially on a local level. That's actually the best way that you can protect properties from demolition, especially if they're in a historic district and you have an ordinance set up that's meant to protect against demolition. And in a case like this, where it's a non-single family home, this is probably going to be, they're working on what the future of this home will be, but it's obviously not going to be a single-family home anymore. So they have the potential to open this up for funding through landmark status.
Right.
So it's a really important thing for non-single-family homes to be landmarked because it can help with the renovation and the future use down the road.
So it gives them the avenue to seek out funding,
Yes,
but by being a local landmark, it also really cannot be torn down.
it adds that extra layer of protection against demolition.
Yes,
Yep.
okay. There's been confusion in the community about how do you protect things, and probably the most severe protection we can give something, the most complete, is locally landmarking. You would think of the National Register, something that might be stronger, but it's not. And the other way, Bethany, you might, for everyone's understanding, talk about how, like the Vec home with the facade was through the Illinois State, I don't know which group
Yeah.
protects that, but that's another way to keep.
Yes, so Landmarks Illinois, who's actually already been involved in the Zook Home and Studio project, they do have a couple of other layers that they try to do with protection, and that's, you can get, they have a whole part of their organization that deals with preservation easements. So you can actually, and there's tax benefits to it, you can actually donate like easements, or it could be for the facade, for the land, and that's actually an even better way to protect a home in the future. Is to provide an easement that basically can't really be removed from a property.
Yeah,
So and I believe there are tax benefits for that,
yeah,
so.
good. Okay.
I think this is the first landmark application. I've sat at this desk for, I don't know, a really long time, and this is actually the first one that I've been a part of, which is kind of crazy, isn't it?
When we first came up with this back in 2002, we thought this would save homes in Hinsdale. When it became evident that once you did a local landmarking, you can't tear it down, it caused people to pause, because even though they might not want to tear the house down, the next buyer or the next buyer might. So what we thought was our salvation back in 2002 didn't really become our salvation. But there are tax benefits to doing local landmarking too. There's freezes of assessments and criteria with that. But in any event, you have no interest in tearing down the Zook house, I know, but it's educational for those that are interested to see why we're doing what we're doing here. So it isn't just to access funds, it gives you another layer of protection. Yeah, yeah, okay.
I mean, obviously, this is a no-brainer.
Yes.
Well,
And Carrie and I talked today, I'm shocked that we didn't do it sooner, and I think we were just over our skis in saving it, and then finishing Emmanuel Hall, and then we went back to the Zook, and then that's when October 2008 happened, and donations didn't come in, and I think then but I'm delighted.
Carrie, are the museum and Emmanuel Hall
They both are,
already have this designation?
yes.
And do Julie Cernovich or Mike Abraham have anything to add for the record?
I mean, obviously, from an architect's point of view, and Richard can speak to this too, I mean, it's a source of inspiration that will be tangible to everybody, because it's gonna be a publicly visited structure. So I think people are gonna get the extra benefit is people are going to get to see it and touch it and experience it, not just drive by, something like that. So that's very important, and to actually just see how an uncommon place could be done with such common materials, You just don't need exorbitant materials to do something wonderful. And it's a source of inspiration for us every day,
Sure.
so.
It's a great educational tool.
Right.
I
And
agree.
that's a big part of this.
I
too.
agree. I agree completely. Great. Julie, Anything to say?
I've kind of fallen down the Zook rabbit hole. I keep doing my own research at home. I think my biggest, not only was Zook an architect, he was an artist. And even before he graduated from IIT, well, which is now IIT, he was hired to teach architecture at IIT and also to teach at the Art Institute, interior design. And they saw the talent back then, even when he was a student. So everything of his is just so creative. The whimsical details, how he combines nature with his buildings. He is to Hinsdale like what Frank Lloyd Wright is to Oak Park.
Agreed.
Well, it's a great undertaking that you all are doing. I mean, with the transiency that we've witnessed in the last 20 years in the village, you know, there are a lot of people, new people to our village that, you know, even if they heard the name Zook, they wouldn't know why or who or what if, you know? So this really provides a wonderful venue for someone to go take a peek, walk through it, touch it, look at it, feel it. Yeah, I think it's great. It's great stuff. Commend all of you for all the hard work you're doing. Okay, Julie, Bethany, do we want to go down the criteria?
It would be good if
For
we
the
could,
record?
for the record and
Okay.
for the purposes of the findings.
Okay,
And we can go through them. They are included in the packet. And we can go through them either as a block of Section A, Section B, and Section C, or individually. And as a quick reminder, when we looked at this, I believe everything in Section A and Section B were met, but you guys can confer and we can go through. And then there was C 3 through 6 might be the only ones that are a little, you know, a bit of a stretch. But that's still meeting almost all the criteria. And you only need to meet one. It's not a race to win them all.
yeah. Okay, well, why don't you all read through those and comment as you do, and so we have a record here.
I can start. It obviously meets A1, significant character, interest, and value, clearly for the village, and I would even argue the United States. A2, the structure is closely identified with a person or persons who significantly contributed to the development of the village, obviously. A3, the structure involves the notable efforts, example of work by a master builder, designer, architect, obviously is met. A4, unique location, are singular physical characteristics of the structure, building site, make it established or familiar visual feature, obviously. A5, activities associated with the structure, make it a current or former focal point. Yeah, obviously. I mean, the move was a spectacle for the village at the time. My kids, I know parents they didn't send their kids to school. My kids didn't go to school those 2 days. A6, the structure is associated with a use common but now rare, or is particularly fine or unique example of a structure and possesses a high level of integrity or architectural significance, yes. A7, structure is in an area that is yielded or likely to yield historically significant information, yes. I'll let somebody else do the architectural significance.
Okay, B, architectural significance. The structure, building, site, or area represents certain distinguishing characteristics of architectural inherently valuable for the study of a time period. That's a yes. 2, the structure, building, site, or area embodies elements of design, detail, material, or craftsmanship of exceptional quality. Absolutely. Item 3, the structure, building, site, or area exemplifies a particular architectural style in terms of detail, material, and workmanship. That's yes, of course. Item 4, the structure, building site, or area is one of few remaining examples of particular architectural style and has undergone little or no alteration since its original construction. That's a yes. Number 5, the structure, building site, or area is or is part of a contiguous grouping that has a sense of cohesiveness expressed through a similarity of style, characteristics, time period, type of property, method of construction. That's a yes. And item 6, the detail, material, and workmanship of the structure, building, or site can be valued in and of themselves as reflective of a similar to those of the majority of the other visual elements in the area. And that's yes.
I'll do C. C1, the structure, building, site, or area is an exceptional example of an historic or vernacular style, or is one of few such remaining properties in the village. Yes. The structure, building, site, or area has strong association with the life or activities of a person. Obviously, that's a yes. 3, the structure, building, site, or area is associated with an organization or group, whether formal or informal, from which persons have significantly contributed to or participated in the historic events of the United States, the state, or the village. I'd
Yes.
say yes.
Yeah.
The structure, building, or site or area is associated with a notable historic event.
I say yes, it was moved across town.
It was moved and it was built.
Yeah.
So I'd say yes on that one. Number 5, the structure, building, site, or area is associated with an antiquated use due to technological or social advances. Yeah. And you said we don't have to get all these anyway, right? The structure, building, site, or area is monument to or cemetery of an historic person or persons.
I would say it's a monument to.
Yeah.
Monument to
Zook,
Zook.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
100%.
I think it hits all of
And
them.
he passed away in that house.
We
right?
can have them hit all of them.
I thought that somebody
Yeah.
said that earlier. I don't think he's buried in the attic or anything.
And for C5, isn't the roof? I would think that would qualify as an antiquated use.
Mm.
Good
Um,
point.
That's a good point.
I forget what you call that, but
Undulated, pseudo-thatched
yeah.
roof.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay. So we've established the criteria. And Bethany, am I to close the public hearing and then we vote?
Yeah, let's close the public hearing and then we can have a motion for the recommendation.
Okay, fine. So if I could have, anybody else have anything to say before I close the public hearing? All set?
I'll move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Barkley?
Aye.
Commissioner Weinberger?
Aye.
Commissioner Harlow?
Aye.
Commissioner Elder?
Aye.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Chairman Bonin?
Aye. Okay, the hearing is closed, and now we will vote as to having this be locally landmarked. Is that correct, Bethany?
Correct.
So a motion to that effect, please?
I'll do it. I move to approve case HPC-17-2025, 5891 South County Line Road, Zook Home and Studio at Catherine Legge Memorial Park. Application for local landmark designation.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Barkley? Aye. Commissioner Weinberger?
Aye.
Commissioner Harlow?
Aye.
Commissioner Elder?
Aye.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Chairman Bonin?
Aye.
Okay.
Motion
Well done.
carries. Great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Great, great stuff.
Yes.
I like when we have happy votes.
That's a
Thanks,
happy
Mike.
vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next item on our agenda would be another public hearing for case HPC 18-2025. We have a list of properties that we need to include. So may I have a motion to open that public hearing, please?
I'll move to open the public hearing.
And a second, please.
Second.
And a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Weinberger? Oh, Commissioner Barkley?
Aye.
Commissioner Weinberger? Aye. Commissioner Harlow?
Aye.
Commissioner Elder?
Aye.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Chairman Bonin?
Aye. Okay,
I'm happy to give an introduction for this.
yes.
So I'm very happy to say that we have only one property tonight that's being requested to be added as our 11th round of properties for our historically significant structures list. This is for 208 East 6th Street, and this officially marks our 100th property to be added to our historically significant structures list. The first round of properties that we added was, I believe, in March of 2023. So in just 2.5 years, we've been able to now officially, if this gets approved, say that we have 100 homes on our list. And while we hopefully are going to see our 26th landmark property added, that program is over 2 decades and unfortunately has not been as successful as this incentive program. I will also say that our Harold Zook Home and Studio is on our historically significant structures list already. And so it is one of these 100 hopeful properties that we have. It's very exciting to also be adding 208 East 6th Street as our 100th property because it's a very special home. I think I wrote to you guys last week that I got the chance to actually go inside the home. And I don't know if any of you had the ability to look up some of the photos when the property just sold, but I have to tell you it's way better in person than even those photos give it credit for. It's really an amazing, special property. And the hope is that a future preservation incentive will be coming forward to you guys shortly for some minor changes and just small additions. But it really is a special property. And it's not only amazing in terms of its architecture, it exhibits Tudor Revival architecture. It was built in 1925, and it was built by Marshall and Fox as the architects, who are quite well known. If you've read about Benjamin Marshall, he was kind of known of this great Gatsby era as this playboy figure in Chicago. But him and Marshall and Fox did design some very significant buildings in the Chicagoland region, including the Drake Hotel, the Blackstone Hotel, the South Shore Cultural Center, the Country Club. So at this time when this house was built, it was quite a mansion of its own. And it's really amazing on the inside with all the woodwork. So very exciting to see this house for the architecture. It also is associated with 2 very important original owners. Edward Warren Everett. He was a lawyer, a former director of the First National Bank of Hinsdale, a member of the local school board, and was part of many Chicago organizations. His wife is actually somehow more famous than him, and she is kind of known as the mother of American Buddhism. There are books written about her, of her being very significant in terms of bringing Buddhism back to America, which who knew that kind of came from Hinsdale? I didn't before ever getting to look into this house. And so it's just, there are also, if you see some of the woodwork in there, I was told when I went and looked at the front door that front door may have been from some sort of monastery, but the front door key is literally 1 foot long, and it's really cool, and I can't wait for you guys to hopefully see this house one day. We'll confirm where that front door came from, though. So really important for the owners, the architects, and the architectural style. And there's also a bunch of amazing gardens outside. There's a great coach house. There's this little tool shed in this courtyard. So it's really a special property to be adding for our 100th home. And then just because it is our 100th home, I will tell you guys what is kind of been going on with our preservation incentive program. We do have 21 preservation incentives approved. We've waived about $250,000 in permit fees, we've seen over $12 million in investment. And I will tell you guys that the $12 million of investment in those preservation cases is probably low because it doesn't really capture what that actual level of investment was. there were a couple of projects, for example, like if you remember Mimi Collins's project at 420 South Park, she had already done several $100,000 of work that wasn't even included in our permit costs. So we do know that that $12 million is low, but it's so far with just 21 cases and more on the way, it's been a super successful program. So I figured when we were adding our 100th house to the list, it was a great time to make sure that we're celebrating all the good successes of the program. So with that, as we've done many times, and this is our 11th round of properties, we do need to go through the list and figure out which criteria this meets, but hopefully I made it easy. And then we can close the public hearing and have a motion. I think the list of criteria is on page 2 of the staff report as well.
Bethany, I have a quick question, a quick
Yes.
comment. Have the new owners approached you about possibly applying for consideration for incentives?
For this 208 East, yes, they are. They're going to be coming forward with a preservation incentive, hopefully soon. They are moving in, from my knowledge, from out of state. They're looking at focusing on the coach house first, and then they'll be looking at doing a couple of other small things. But I've been kind of in the loop with their architect for some of the changes here, and they've been very thoughtful, and they would be very good, in my opinion so far, good changes to the building. The other really cool thing that they did with this house that I did share with Richard is they did do a 3D mapping of this house, but when it was sold. So it's apparently not that expensive to do, you know, and this is a giant home, by the way. So they did do this 3D mapping of the house, so it's pretty cool if they've taken everything and documented it meticulously, and then that has made it easier for them to do the plans later. So when that preservation incentive comes forward, well, I can hopefully share some of the 3D mapping that they did, because it's also just really cool to see.
Great.
So,
Then my quick comment is, I wonder if it makes sense to try to get something into the Hinsdalean about this.
I've already begged them to do a story on it.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not just the house in particular, but the program overall, being at 100. And I think the numbers that you mentioned in terms of permit waivers, but more significantly, the investment.
Yeah.
That might, I think people know that this exists. I don't think that they know that it's been successful necessarily.
Yeah.
And, some people, they're not many, but occasionally people said this is inappropriate use of funds. I think those numbers would counter that argument.
The other thing that we're looking to do now that we have 100 properties is that we're looking at some ways to maybe do some additional marketing on our program, and not necessarily to have more people get involved with it, but also to show people we've now have a couple of projects that are nearing completion or just completed. And I've been able to see inside some of those houses, but no one else has. And so if there's a way that we can have, some of the magazines out there, not just the Hinsdalean, but some nice glossy spreads of what do these kitchens look like on the inside. Because if people can see on the inside of some of these renovations versus just the outside, they can see that these homes that are very historic on the outside or have really appropriate additions, they also have beautiful new modern kitchens inside, and they look brand new, and they are brand new. So the hope is that we're trying behind the scenes right now to do a couple of stories with some magazines and try to get the word out there as well. So more to come on that, and I'll keep you guys posted.
Good.
Thank you.
Well, it definitely hits 2, 3, and 5. I have circles right off the bat.
Well, and if truly she was the mother of Buddhism, number 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 5.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Now that I've seen all the pictures, I'd say 6.
Yeah, I agree. Civic pride for sure.
That's a cool house.
Really.
So well maintained it from the pictures.
Yeah.
Now we still have to close the public hearing.
Okay.
Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 5 listed, and we can close the public hearing and then have a motion.
Fine.
I'll move
Motion,
to clo-
please.
Move to close the public hearing for case HPC-18-2025.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Barkley?
Aye.
Commissioner Weinberger?
Aye.
Commissioner Harlow?
Aye.
Commissioner Elder?
Aye.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Chairman Bonin?
Aye. Okay.
And then,
A motion to have this included on our list?
yep,
I'll make a motion for case HBC-18-2025, consideration of properties for inclusion on the historically significant structures property list in the Historic Overlay District, Round 11.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Commissioner Barkley?
Aye.
Commissioner Weinberger?
Aye.
Commissioner Harlow?
Aye.
Commissioner Elder?
Aye.
Commissioner Olson?
Aye.
Chairman Bonin?
Aye. That closes the public hearing. Okay. Now. Did we vote on the list?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so then we're done with this. So that's the end of this public hearing, right?
Yep.
Yes.
and
Yep.
I think public comment is next.
Yep, yep. Any more public comments from you two?
It's a beautiful home.
Huh?
It's a
Yeah?
beautiful home.
Oh, sure. That's one of the trophies in town.
Sure is.
Did Magnuson's lived there before? Yeah.
For the groupies?
For the groupies, yeah, I believe. Bruce Magnuson, yeah, yeah. No other public comments? Any new business that we need to talk about? Hearing none. Any old business we want to talk about? The plaques, Bethany.
I will hopefully have some draft language for our second plaque for you. We've been a little busy down in community development recently, but the hope is that in the next few meetings, I'll have some draft language, and we are going to have budgeted for next year to get our second plaque in. So more to come on that, and we'll just keep it on old business for right now. It's just a consistent thing until it moves forward.
Sixth Street? No, nothing new?
I have no updates.
Nothing new
I think
there?
we're still in the same holding pattern.
Sign code, nothing new on that?
I do actually have an update on the sign code.
Oh,
So we are officially going to be, we've officially now engaged with Tesca, who's our planning consultant that's been helping us with some things. And so you guys will be now officially hearing from me shortly about the sign code things. The first thing that we're hoping to do, and we'll notify the plan commission of this as well at the next meeting, we're probably gonna send out like a quick survey to commissioners. Just, it's gonna be very brief of what do you like and not like, to make sure that if we're missing any of the sign code regulations that we want to include, that's the time to tell us like, hey, we want downtown maybe design guidelines or things that we've talked about before. If there's a sign out there that you guys really don't want to see that type of sign in the future, we can absolutely take a look at that with Tesca. I'm going to be doing a tour with them, I think the end of this week. So we're trying to start things up again and get things moving. So the goal is we'll probably have a couple of meetings on this. We'll have a lot more talks on it, but we are at least starting the initiative to keep moving forward now. So more to come.
the work that Jim Prisby did and with Salt Lake City and
Yep.
just as a point of reference, don't forget about that.
We have not. It's still in our files, and that's something that Tesca has been asked to look at.
Yeah, and if it's something where you wanted to hear from Jim, we can arrange that,
Yep.
one form or another. Okay. Anything else? Anybody have anything to talk about?
I guess I do. Now, going back to the historic overlay, it would be really helpful to have something in my hands that I can give people. I have been in a couple of situations where I've talked to people who should have their house on the historic overlay. And then, you know, besides talking about it, then I send them to the website, and then you never know if that actually happens. It'd
Yeah.
just be really awesome to have something to give people.
handout piece.
Yes, yeah, a brochure, something, with a QR code that maybe is more usable than somebody looking on the
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
Just something, because I think the education needs to still happen.
Yeah.
People don't quite understand what it means, what they can get from it.
Do we have that in-house capability, or?
I will, we have some capabilities right now with Tesca, that planning consultant I was just speaking of. And I'll see what they can do to help us, because I know it's towards the end of the year. We have some outside marketing help, but they've been kind of pulled with Parks and Rec and other things. So I'll see if there's something that Tesca can help us with. They do have graphic design help, so I'll see what they can help us with.
We have a budget that we never use.
We have used a lot of the HPC budget this year. Part of it went to the plaque, and then I'd have to check on how much we have left. Yeah, and then I think some of it may have gone elsewhere as well, but I'll take a look at what's
signs.
in the HPC budget left. But we do have we can see if Tesca can help us with maybe a small, even if it's just like a postcard flyer or something, that maybe they can help us with designing something that we can absolutely.
Enough
give
of
to
a
people.
teaser that would direct them to the website,
Yeah.
if
Which
nothing else.
I think the website now is actually a little outdated and probably also needs to be updated.
Okay.
There's several areas of even just like the historic preservation portion of the website that I know still also needs to be updated. So we're doing our best. It is on the list. Yep.
Okay. Maybe look into that and see if we have that capability.
Yep.
If not, we could budget that for next year with our budget,
Yeah.
before
I'll see what
everybody
they can
gets their
do.
hands on it.
I'll see what they can do and help us with this year.
Okay.
If we don't have any budget left, even if it was an 8.5 by 11, something that rolls off the Xerox and you're just,
Yeah.
right, it's just a trifold
Yeah.
sort of,
Yeah, and it would be great if
Just
even if
something,
at the Historical Society, we could just have a couple of flyers sitting there, because I know they've been assisting a lot of people with just house research, and that's a great time to say, hey, did you know your house has a ton of history? Would you want to be interested in the Villages program? Just like anytime a house is added to our historically significant structures list, I make sure that all those owners know about their plaque program. So there's a lot of synergy, I think, between what they're doing and what we're doing.
And it would be helpful to have that information out there, because more than wanting to know about the program, I hear more about why this program shouldn't be functioning, that it's benefiting people who shouldn't be receiving this money, and it's a waste of their dollars when they aren't using it because they don't live in an old home. So it'd be nice to see that return on investment and
Yeah.
have them actually see that.
Yeah.
Are there any homes that have completed the construction end of the program?
Yes, several of them. I just did a final inspection not that long ago for 217 West Hickory, and then I just did one for the property on First and Orchard, which Mike Abraham actually was the architect for. I don't know if you guys remember that. And I did get to go inside that house, and they just completed everything. They're actually also applying for a state of Illinois property tax freeze, I believe, which we don't see many of those come through. So I'm hoping they're successful in that. But I will say that house came out really great and wonderful, and I'm hoping the Hinsdalean does a story on that as well. Every time a house actually finishes completion, I basically beg the Hinsdalean to do a story. And they have a whole queue of stories waiting from me. So it's really important to celebrate these successes. And, I'm lucky that I've gotten to go inside these homes or see them up close, but I want to make sure everyone else can see them as well, because that's what changes people's minds, I think, seeing the actual success.
Yeah, I think the one at First and Orchard for sure is
So it's so
fantastic
great. They
looking.
did such a
I mean,
great
it's
job.
very-
That porch looks great. The outside looks great. It's really a good example.
Yeah, the columns on it are incredible.
Yeah.
And I think they should be in all realtors' offices too.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
information about the Illinois tax freeze, I know we did that on our home. And
Yeah.
it's a huge benefit to
It is.
homeowners that no one seems to know about.
And it's
I wish
not-
realtors knew about it when they
Yes.
go to market homes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to have a task force of our commission here
Yeah.
that would go to the different real estate offices. Now that all the real estate offices are owned by one entity, it's easier to do.
Yeah. We previously did do quite a bit of outreach with the realtors, but we probably should reinstate some of that, because it's been quite a bit.
Well, we should, because the real estate population is changing all the time too,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, big
good. Well, I'd just like to say we've come a long, long way in our quest to further preservation in the village of Hinsdale. I'd like to congratulate every one of you for being part of it, and obviously Bethany being our hard charger.
For sure.
Yeah, this has been excellent.
100 properties is really a great success, so very exciting.
It's been a long saga, right, Julie? Well, it's nice to see the momentum shift. Let's keep it moving. Good. Okay, can I have a motion for adjournment, please?
I'll move to adjourn.
Second?
Voice vote. All in favor to adjourn? Aye?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.